You know, that quote really sets the scene, doesn't it? It's such a powerful reminder that the biggest problems, they often start out as just whispers, not these big, loud shouts.
So the big question is, how can soft skills save a massive piece of machinery like an engine? Well, we're going to dive into that exact idea today, and we'll do it with a short but really powerful story. It's an amazing example of how something as simple as just noticing something and saying something can be just as crucial as any tool in the toolbox.
All right, I want you to picture this. You're down in an engine room. Everything is running just like it's supposed to, you know? Under a normal load, you've got that steady, reassuring hum. There are no flashing lights, no alarms blaring. Everything just looks perfect. Total operational calm. So, in walks our main character, a junior marine engineer. He's just doing his regular rounds, checking the instruments. He glances over at a pressure gauge, and he spots something. Now, get this. The needle isn't in the red zone. No alarms are going off. It's just a little different than it was yesterday. It's one of those tiny, tiny details that would be so easy to just ignore.
And you know, this right here gets to a much deeper kind of expertise. Real experience. It's not just about memorizing numbers off a chart. It's about developing a feel for the system. It's like an intuition, right? That little voice that helps you spot those super subtle changes. It's about listening to the quiet story that the machinery itself is trying to tell you.
Okay, so here we are. This is the moment. The junior engineer just hesitates. He's standing there, looking at that gauge, and you can almost feel the conflict playing out in his head. This is it. This is that critical decision point where one tiny choice is about to change everything.
And here's the question at the heart of it all. One I think we've all faced at some point, right? Do you speak up, say something about what might be absolutely nothing, or do you just stay quiet and hope it all goes away? Seriously, what would you do right now? Let's actually break down the math he's doing in his head. On one side of the scale, you've got the personal risk, right? Looking kind of foolish, being wrong, maybe wasting a senior engineer's time. But on the other side, oh man, the cost of staying silent is just massive. We're talking potential failure, maybe even catastrophic damage. When you lay it out like that, the choice starts to look a whole lot clearer, doesn't it?
And this is such a critical insight. Big failures aren't always because a part breaks. So often, they're because communication breaks down. It's right there, in those moments of hesitation, in that choice to stay silent. That's where these totally preventable disasters really begin.
So what's he gonna do? Well, thankfully, this is where our story takes a positive turn. It's a simple conversation, just a quick professional chat that ends up preventing a total crisis.
And if you look at how they solved it, the anatomy of the solution, it's just so simple but so effective. First, step one, you gotta notice the unusual thing in the first place. Then, step two, our guy reports it, calmly and clearly. Then, and this is so important, step three, the senior engineer actually listens. No blame, no judgment. And that leads to step four, they work together to figure it out. Simple as that.
And the way it all gets resolved is, honestly, almost anticlimactic, in the best possible way. There's no drama, no shouting, no panic. The senior engineer just listens, they take a look, and they make one small, simple adjustment. That's it. The pressure goes back to normal, the engine keeps on humming along. Crisis totally averted.
So here's the main takeaway, the really crucial point. It wasn't some super complex technical fix that saved the day. It was just a conversation. That one simple act of communication was literally the only thing standing between a normal day and a really serious, really expensive failure.
All right, so let's unpack the why behind all this. We saw what happened, right? But now let's dig into the specific skills that made that good outcome even possible, because these are the real protective measures we're talking about.
Okay, so first up, you've got your technical skills. This is the baseline, the foundation. It's knowing how the machinery works, the engineering principles, all the procedures. This is the stuff you absolutely need just to run the engine in the first place.
But then you have this other thing, soft skills. And this isn't just about running the engine, this is about having the wisdom to protect it. See the difference? It's that extra layer of awareness, of communication, of teamwork that actually safeguards the whole operation. It's what turns basic knowledge into real wisdom.
And if we really break it down, we can pinpoint the exact soft skills that were at play here. First, there was that keen observation, just spotting the issue. Then clear communication to actually talk about it. We had active listening from the senior guy, and then that blame-free teamwork to find the fix. And maybe most important of all, professional humility from everyone. That's what made the whole thing work. You know, this line just sums it all up perfectly. Technical knowledge runs the engine, sure, but soft skills, that's what protects it. And that is what transforms a bunch of people who just happen to work together into a truly resilient and effective team.
So I'm going to leave you with this one final thought to chew on. In your world, at your job, in your life, what's that little unusual reading that you've been noticing? What's that quiet little detail that deep down you feel might be pointing to a bigger problem? Because if this story teaches us anything, it's that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is find the courage to give that small observation a voice.